Hey, back with another episode with Chop It Up with Coco. I want to thank everybody for subscribing and paying attention to my bio of my Little League career all the way through my pro football career. Um, I think it's needed for me to take another intermission. I took an intermission with the Mother's Day special and did that one. Got back on topic with colleges. And then now I think it's a very, very important time for me to take a intermission and talk about Black Lives Matter. There's a slash in there, and it's all lives matter. But right now, I need to talk about Black Lives Matter. This topic and subject is going to be a very, very emotional, touching one. It's going to be sincere. Um, I hope that I don't rub folks the wrong way, but I think it's very important for me to talk about life as a black man, why Black Lives Matter to me, why Black Lives Matter to everybody. And like I said, it's all lives. But I need to touch on what all Black Lives Matter means. Um, for so long, black folks have gone through so much in our lives. I've seen it throughout my entire life, but I still wouldn't judge. Color doesn't matter to me. It was the way that my folks and the people that have raised me were. So I think this is a very touching topic that I need to touch on. Um, I have all different types of shades in my family, and I'm gonna talk about that throughout this Black Lives Matter slash All Lives Matter. Um, it's not about trying to educate folks as if they don't understand, but I need to shed light on some of the things that black folks go through that some people just don't understand. And the only way you wouldn't be able to understand unless it happened to you. So I kind of want to shed light on those topics. Some again, please don't take it the wrong way. I hope my real friends and family that love me, understand why I'm doing this and what this is all about. It's no shot at nobody. It's no shot at no race. It's not about that. It's just about me speaking from my heart. I think it's very, very important for me to talk about this subject the way I'm going to talk about this subject. I talk to a lot of my friends that I'm really close with, my family, and we all feel, especially myself, this is a very, very important topic to tackle. And I pray that my white brothers, my Latino brothers and sisters, my Asian brothers and sisters, all my culture brothers and sisters understand this message that I'm about to give to you folks. When folks say Black Lives Matter, they're not saying that black lives are better than white folks. They're not saying that black lives are better than Latino folks. They're not saying that black lives are better than Asian folks. They're not saying black lives are better than Indian folks or any culture. What Black Lives Matter is this. Black people have been getting the blunt of wrong doing for so long. There's only so much that you can take in life as a man, as a boy, in any culture. When folks are talking about Black Lives Matter, they're just asking for support. It's not saying, again, I'm going to iterate it and say it. It's not saying that black lives are better than any other race in no way, shape, or form, because it's not. I have an extremely mixed family, and I love it. And I wouldn't do it no other way. But me being a black man, considered a black man, judged as a black man, looked at as a black man, I have to stand up and speak for those that can't speak for themselves. But I'm speaking from my heart, and I'm speaking from the way I feel, and I'm speaking from the experiences that I've gone through. Everything in my life hadn't been great. This subject is going to be more touching than even the way I grew up. I think the three things that I would like my brothers and sisters to listen to me and take these words and start the process of understanding what black people go through. Now, I understand that white folks go through it too, not like us. I understand that Latino folks go through it like us, close, but not as much. I understand that other nationalities and cultures go through it, but not like black people. The three things that I'm about to talk about, again, I hope that that if you love me the way you say you do, if we're friends, you know me, you know my heart, you know what I stand for, you know who I am as a human being, as a man. And I pray that some don't take this the wrong way. I pray that some take my message and just listen to it and run away with it and just stand with black folks, stand with Latino folks, stand with white folks, and take a stand, because it's not going to change until we really stand. So with that being said, I think the three most important things that I would love my friends and family to listen to me is this. There's the three L's. Listen. Listen to what we're saying. Listen to what we're always talking about. Listen to the cries. Listen to what we're begging and asking for all the time. Listen. So the three L's go like this. Listen, learn, and lead. Listen to what we're saying. Learn, and then lead. Listening means really sit down and just listen to the pain for over 400 years of what's been done to black folks. Just listen and listen. And then when you can't listen no more, listen. I think the next important stage of that is learn. Learn why we're crying. Learn why we're so upset. Learn why we're so angry. Learn why we can't take it no more. Learn why we want y'all to walk arm to arm with us. Learn how to help us as we help y'all. Learn. And the third one is lead. Once you listen and you understand completely, once you learn, lead by an example. Lead the right way. Lead when you think nobody's watching. Lead being a leader. If you're a great leader, people are going to follow. So I think it's important that my friends and family, I'm asking y'all to listen, to learn, and to lead. I know for myself, I got a lot of friends from different nationalities, and I'll walk with them in any light, for any cause, for anything. If I ride with you, if I deal with you, I ride with you and I'll deal with you for any cause. Black Lives Matter to me, because I'm tired of seeing a lot of different things happening to black folks, mainly at the expense of cops killing black men, black young men. It's touching for me because I have a child. I got a boy, very young right now. And I gotta start preparing how to teach him to try to stay alive. I never know what's gonna happen. We don't know what's gonna happen. We've come a long way from slavery. We got rights, but we really don't have rights. We get treated worse than dogs, worse than animals. So for me, this is very important for me to reach out and speak about Black Lives Matter. Even though my child is a mix of race, he's going to be considered a black man. And I got a lot of preparing to do, a lot of leading to do, and hopefully he'll be ready and understand how to protect himself. So for me, it's very important, whatever race you are, I love all races equal. But I'm trying to be a voice and speak on how unfair it is to black folks. There are some really good cops. There are some really bad. More bad than good, my opinion. So for me, the main thing is trying to start something that's been started 50, 60 years ago with Martin Luther King and all these other folks that's praying and hoping and praying and hoping. We want some folks to walk arm to arm with us. It should be one color, not multiple colors. So I hope that the things I'm going to talk about and continue to talk about, I hope my true friends understand where I'm coming from. If I offend you, I'm apologizing to you because I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm speaking from my heart. I'm speaking for something that needs to be spoken about. So if I offend you, I apologize. But I'm just trying to get others to look through the same lens that I look through, that I've seen for so long. There's only so much you can take. Let me start by talking about how I grew up, where I grew up, what I've seen through my lens. Again, I'm not trying to persuade anybody into feeling like me, into thinking like me. I'm just trying to raise awareness. So some of my friends that don't get it, because I got some friends that don't get it. I got some friends that really, really get it. And I really thank you for getting it from day one, from a long time ago. But there are some that don't get it yet. And I pray to God that I can install something, say a few things, show you a few things. I got some things I'm going to show at the end. That if it don't open the light to let you see and understand what we go through and how sick and tired of this we are, then you'll never get it. I grew up in the Chicagoland, Waukegan, Zion, Kenosha land area. Grew up around a lot of white folks that were unbelievably great to me. I grew up with a lot of white folks that were insanely horrible, evil to me as well, and my family. In my earlier episodes of my football career, my bio, I talked about some very important white folks that was there for me, that looked out for me. They didn't see color. They saw struggle, and they grabbed me arm to arm and helped comfort me in my struggle. As a young man, being real young in the Wisconsin land area, there were a lot of really racist folks. Kenosha, Zion, Waukegan, especially that Kenosha and Zion area, there was a lot of KKK, which stands for the Ku Klux Klan. As a kid, I experienced that. As a kid, I saw it a lot. As a kid, I'm going to tell you about some things that I saw in my family that could have affected me for the long haul, but it didn't. It just made me stronger. I want to talk about growing up in that area. And a lot of my friends and family, they're going to completely 1,000% understand where I'm coming from because they witnessed it as well. I've seen their families witness what my families, my loved ones, my friends who I love went through this. With all this that I'm about to talk about, I still never saw color. I still never hated white folks because of how they treated me and my family and my friends. I still never hated no race. No matter how bad they treated me and my family and friends, I would never stoop as low as them to judge them. I would never stoop to be ignorant, to hate somebody, dislike somebody, because everybody not the same. In Wisconsin, the Zion, Kenosha, that area, the KKK was big. They was live, they was kicking, and they was real. I watched police brutality with my father often as a kid. I watched the Zion Police Department. My dad was a nice sized guy. Really there for everybody. I talked about him drinking and things like that, but my father was A+ to the community. There was a lot of people who he affected in the right way, gave what he didn't have to give, because that's the way his heart was. That's the way he was made. But I watched this as a kid, and as a kid, you don't understand it. And it was rough to see. I was with my dad a lot, often, in Zion, Kenosha, but this happened in Zion, Illinois, probably at the age of about maybe 8, 9, 10, 11, right around there. I would watch the police pick on us, pull us over for no reason in the world like they do. That's what happens. And what would bother me most is this. It'd be like just me and my father. And it'd be one or two. And then here you go with 3 or 4 cars. They all pull up. Get them out of the car. Get me out of the car. Handcuff him. They wouldn't run up on him when he was free, because my dad wasn't going in no way, shape, or form. If anybody knew my pops, it wasn't about always who can win in a fight and things like that. But my daddy was about it like that, like for real about it. So anybody knew my pops, they knew he wasn't going in no way, shape, or form for it. No matter who it was, how it was, he wasn't going. With that being said, I remember seeing the police handcuff him in front of me and not caring that I'm a little boy. Not caring who gonna come get me. Not caring for a thing in the world. And I gotta say, nowadays, they're killing them instead of just beating them up. So I can be a little thankful for that. But I would watch this happen to my father multiple times. When they would handcuff my father, for whatever reason, bang his head on the hood, bang his face on the windshield, beat him up like that, like banging his head and face. My dad was a nice sized dude, so they would multiply handcuff him and bang his face on the windshield, bang his face on the hood. Didn't matter, didn't care. Were some of those cops KKK members? Probably. Were some of those cops, did they say nigger? Yeah. Did some of those cops care about a little kid seeing that, watch his dad get beat up by the police? They didn't care. It happened often. It happened about a good 3 times. And this is nothing I'm proud of, but I'm going to tell you the type of dude my father was. Anybody knew my daddy, James Jr., a.k.a. Rambo. Proud of my pops. He stood up for what he believed in all the way to the max. I remember a time where he got fed up, and that's black people, and that's why I'm talking about Black Lives Matter. He got fed up. Him getting fed up could have got his life taken from him. But again, back then, they wasn't killing us like that. About the 3rd or 4th time these cops pulled the same little stunt, handcuff him. He trying to do the right thing, trying to be there for us. For whatever the reason is. They banged him up, swole his face up. As soon as he got out of jail, the officers, true story, was outside saying things like, "We'll see you again." So after my daddy got bonded out, there was 2 officers out there. We went to get him. My daddy whooped the living out of both those cops and went right back to jail. As a kid, I didn't understand it. Why would he do that? But as an adult man, I totally understand. There's really good people and there's really evil people in this world, folks. Really good people and really evil. Not saying my dad was always good, but did he deserve that? Hell no, he didn't. Did I deserve to see that as a kid? Hell no, I didn't. Did they care as adult grown people? They did not. So as he whooped them, they could have shot him, but they didn't. He went back to jail, but it was fulfilling for him as a man to always get harassed, to always get patted down, to always get treated a certain way. It's only so much you can take when somebody keep treating you that way. Imagine who you as a man getting patted down, messed with all the time for no reason. No matter where you're going, what you're doing, just getting harassed. Your pride as a man gonna show up, especially if you like that. It's gonna show up. With that being said, I still never judge white folks, and I won't. Mom and dad, grandparents, we wasn't raised like that, and I'm gonna touch on that in a minute about my grandparents. But I watched my daddy get his ass whooped multiple times as a kid by white officers, not black, not Latino, not Asian, whites. And I love them to this day. I got some incredibly great white folks in my life that are A+ with 10 pluses behind it. And I'm so glad and I thank God that I didn't become racist, that I understood that everybody wasn't like that. That was so personal as a kid because I didn't understand it. Why them folks would do that? We did nothing wrong. I seen that multiple times. Take you back around the same time. For all my friends and family from Zion, that area, y'all know what I'm finna talk about. We used to always have these carnivals in Zion. And I remember being maybe about 5 or 6 of us. And the KKK was everywhere, especially in those neck of the woods in that era growing up. I remember the KKK, adult grown men. We might be, again, about 10, 11, 12. We at the carnival. And I'll never forget this. When a grown white KKK man put his gun in the face of my friend right in front of all of us. Pulled out the gun in front of everybody and put that gun dead to that young boy's face. I'll never forget that. Never to the day I die, I'll never forget that. Again, I couldn't understand that we're kids. I couldn't understand being called nigger, not nigga. I couldn't understand how somebody could have so much hate for us and we have so much love for them. But to see that man pull that gun, 3 grown men, one of them pull a gun and put it dead square in the middle of the forehead of one of my friends as a kid at a carnival in front of everybody in the world, and nothing happened to that man, I knew back then. Again, even after that, did I judge white people? No, I love them. I got so many great, amazing white folks in my family that I love to death. White families, white people that really loved me. That'll never change, no matter what happens. I got to speak on another story. And I got permission to do this. I ain't gonna say no names. But I remember I spoke with some family members about this because I wasn't present for this. And I want to talk about my uncle real quick. I want to say the name, but I want to talk about my uncle. And my uncle was grew up in Chicago on the west side, North Lockwood. And I remember talking with some people that were there, not what I heard, some people that were there. And my uncle, he was rough. My uncle wasn't going. My uncle was super G. I'm talking about like official. Like my dad and my uncle was two of the most official people on this planet. They was brothers, but they was the real deal. That's nothing I'm proud of, but I understand now as an adult man why they was the way they was. My uncle got shot with a 12 gauge shotgun right in the stomach, right outside his house, and his mama right there by white cops. Pretty much killed him. Left him there. Didn't call the ambulance. Did what they had to have done to that man and left him right there smoking after they just blowed his stomach out with a shotgun. And left him there. Didn't call the ambulance. His mama had to call the ambulance to come get her son from what they did to him. Then, not only that, when they took him to the hospital, they left him there to die. He was strong, man. He lived. And even with that being said, Unc still was cool with white folks. Now, he wasn't going for it with nobody. I'm trying to tell you, my uncle was a certified one. I'm talking about, but I understood from all the things he went through why he was that way. It didn't matter if you was black, if you was white, if you was any culture, he wasn't going. And it was because of some of the things he'd been through. So when I talk about Black Lives Matter, I'm talking about that. Going to the store, not knowing if you're going to make it back. Going to the store, riding. If a cop see you, they pulling you over. Going to the store to just be normal. Nowadays, you don't know if just going to the store, if you're going to make it back from the store. So for me, it's very important for me to talk about Black Lives Matter because it's happening way too damn much. On camera, no weapons, no nothing, but dead. They can't bring them back. And the sad thing about that is this. 90% of the cops that's killing black men that don't have any weapons, they don't go to jail. They may get laid off a little bit. Hell, they may even get fired. But they find themselves months later, years later, with another job, with a gun, with a badge, out looking to hurt and kill black folks, black men, period, end of discussion. It's getting so bad to the point where I just want my brothers and sisters to walk with us. Because I'll walk with any race. White folks, I'll walk with you. You, my brother, I'll walk with you for whatever cause you got. Latino, brothers and sisters, I'll walk with you because I speak up on anything that ain't right. I don't care what color it is. I speak up. So if you know me, I speak up. I do what's right. Anybody that know Coco, I stand for what's right. End of discussion, period. Cut it how you want to cut it. No matter if it's with black folks, against with Latino folks, against with white folks, against with Asian folks. If you wrong, I'm riding with the right. It's good and evil. So when I say Black Lives Matter, I think about my son. Think about my little nephews. I think about all those little ones that need to be protected. They need to be educated. They need to be spoken for. It's so sad now that the police brutality is at an all-time high. Now, I got some friends, some really close friends that are in law enforcement. And they A+. They so amazing. All cops ain't bad. They're not. I know some ones that I love to death, have been great with me, with everything in the world. But then you got those apples that are really, really bad. A lot of the cops, white cops, again, anybody know me, this ain't a racist there's not a bone of racism in my body. It never will be. A lot of the white cops that are killing black men, they're being videotaped. They're making comments about can't wait for a race war. They want to kill niggers. They raised with so much hate. Hate is taught at home. Back in Wisconsin, where I grew up, I had older white folks call me nigger all the time. Most people get really upset, jump off the limb and want to fight them and beat them up and hit them. I would never hit older people. I would never hit a woman. I learned real quick when I became an adult man about white folks that are really racist. Of course, they're ignorant. Of course, it was learned as a kid. And I walked away from these folks for this reason. If you're a kid, 4, 5, 6 years old as a kid, and all your life, you're 60 years old now, all you know is nigger. You're racist. You hate black people and don't know why you hate black people. How can you be mad at an older white man or white lady if that's all she knew all her life? Yeah, they're ignorant. But how can you be mad at them? They don't know no better. So that's how I keep myself sane from not judging the culture. I've had bad things happen to my family from different other cultures, not just white cops, white folks. But do it keep me sane and keep knowing what's right and what's wrong? Because everybody ain't like that, yes. And I'm glad I'm made like that. But the police brutality, foul, wrong. The equality, we don't got it. A lot of the cops in high school were either nobodies, bothered by something that happened, maybe, with some black folks, I don't know. But they become cops for power. For power. That badge protects them. And they know it. They wouldn't do some of those things if they weren't cops that they do to some people. And it's so sad that our judicial system, our government allow this. Period. In a discussion. You allow folks to shoot first. A few friends said this to me that are cops. And they gave me the real meaning of it because they love me and I love them. You always hear the term, it's better to be judged by 12 than to be carried by 6. And they mean that. What they mean is they'll let the jury judge them, 12 of them, because they'll walk out of there like they always do, than to be carried by 6. Shoot first, kill and shoot first. And let them figure it out. That's why I'm talking about Black Lives Matter. Because most of the time, all the deaths that you see all over the place is black men, black boys. I can't think of anybody's child getting killed at the hands of somebody that's supposed to protect them. And when I think about that, I think about my son. I think about my nephews. I think about all the kids, whether they white, Latino, Asian. I love them all, man. I think about that. If your skin too dark, you might get killed. So for me, I hope the people that know me understand why I'm doing Black Lives Matter, because it's all lives matter, but I have to really stand up for my black community, for my black brothers and sisters that's getting killed at this insane rate. It ain't right. It ain't fair. And we all got to stand. Like I said, all my white folks, all my Latino folks, I'll stand with you. Y'all know I will. I'm asking y'all to do the 3 L's like I asked before. Listen, learn, and lead. Help myself and help the world educate so that we can try our best to stop what the government got going on. Because they're giving these folks the green light to continue to do it because it's okay. And at the end of this, Black Lives Matter, it means all lives matter as well. But black folks dying way too wrong out here in the streets. I'm seeing things that used to make me sad, that turns into extreme anger. When black folks getting killed with their daughters and their sons watching, their girlfriends watching, knees in their back, knees in their neck, it's being caught on video, clear as day, innocent. And that cop get a slap on the wrist, maybe get fired, get pension and go. Why wouldn't they keep doing it? They need to take the pension. If you murdered them, put them in jail with the people you murdered. Let's see how that go. Wouldn't do it. There is no consequence from killing black folks, man. They consider us the lowest scums of the earth because of our color. I'm gonna put up some clips at the end of all of this so you can get a better view, a better understanding of what I'm talking about. All my brothers and sisters, I'm not gonna judge you if you don't walk with me. Still love you. I still roll with you. But it's very important for me to do this. Like I said, I gotta stand up for the killing of black folks. That's why I'm saying Black Lives Matter. And even in my last episode with college, it's all lives matter, because I mean that from the bottom of my heart. My family, my children are black and Latino. I want to speak to my Latino folks real quick, and please listen to me good. I did a segment on college at Iowa Lakes Community College where it was all white folks, and they were A+. They treated me and the 7 or 8 black football players amazing, and I gave them so much props for not calling us nigger, for not treating us like we was beneath the damn earth. I got to give those same props to the Valley. I've been living here for over 10 years. And the Valley has been really good to me and my family. There's been a very few, almost like I didn't even know things, but it's going to happen anywhere. It can't be perfect. But I really want to thank the Valley, friends and family, the ones that know me, not heard of me, the ones that know me. I really want to thank the Valley for being A+ to me, my family. I've been here over 10 years, and I could have been anywhere in the world. Valley, my Latino brothers and sisters. Could have been in Wisconsin. Could have been in Chicago. Could have been on the East Coast. And I can speak on these because I lived everywhere. I lived in New York. I lived in New Jersey. I lived in Iowa. I lived in Wisconsin. I lived in Chicago. I lived in Las Vegas. I lived in Arizona. I lived in Dallas. I lived in Arizona. I lived in all these different cultures, beautiful cultures, races. I've seen them all. So I can speak on this because I lived in all them nationalities on purpose, because I wanted to see, because I can get along with anybody, because color don't matter to me. And I want to thank my Latino brothers and sisters for being good to me. At first it was tough to bend in, but y'all saw what I stood for. Y'all saw what I was about, and y'all didn't judge me, and I appreciate that more than you could imagine. I live here. I raised my family here, my children here, because y'all good to me. Where I'm at is comfortable because the racism hasn't set in on me the way it has for up north and other places that I'm scared for my brothers that are black and sisters. So I really want to shout out the Valley, man. Really want to shout out the Valley. And I really, really hope this. Black Lives Matter does not mean that white lives don't matter. Black Lives Matter does not mean Latino lives don't matter. It means that we're all equal. It means, it's not saying that black lives are above white folks or Latino folks in no way, shape, or form. It's saying the world is beating us down. And we can't get up from it. And sometimes, no matter how big and strong you are as a man, you need help. Somebody need to help you raise up. And I'm just asking for that. I ain't asking for nothing else, but just asking for that. Because if you need me to ride with you, I'm going to ride with you. So Black Lives Matter does not mean, please understand, it does not mean that the black race is better than white race. The black race is better than Latino race. That's not what it means. So please stop misunderstanding that. Don't let this pandemic, these horrible, evil situations put us against each other. This is the time we're supposed to pull together. This is the time where we're supposed to really get together and do the right thing together. I'm going to put up a couple of clips of some very intelligent folks, and they're absolutely 1000% correct on what we should be doing. So Black lives mean that we're tired of police killing black men and youth for no reason because they hate black people. Black lives matter because I want to see all my nieces, my nephews, my son grow old. So the beatings, the killings, it doesn't put black lives above any race. It's just saying we're sick of it. And we need help from every race. I want to talk about something real quick, small. There's a difference between rioting and protesting. The rioting is ignorant and stupid as hell. Protesting is what's needed. Either way, it's not the same. Some people look at it as the same. It's not the same. The people that's rioting, I don't condone in no way, shape, or form. People that's rioting are full of shit. People that riot, most of the time, people that riot, I'm not being judgmental. People riot when they want something free. I'm not saying that black folks, because that's what you see predominantly rioting, but when you held down your whole life, when you treated a certain way your whole life, I'm not condoning, I'm just making you understand. When you get treated a certain way your whole life, you kind of don't care no more. So if somebody want to go do stupid things, you'll go do stupid things because you don't care. Like you say, if they don't care, then I don't care. I've been there. Have I crossed that line? No. I check myself, or somebody check me in before I can become that. It's hard to do the right thing when you keep getting done wrong. It's really, really hard. The protesting, that's power, and that's much needed. So some of my friends made comments about this, and I have to touch on this as well. I had a friend say this that I'm real cool with and close, and I don't want to judge them. So I'm going to do this Black Lives Matter, All Lives Matter, to see if they understand what I'm saying. With the Black Lives Matter, there was a comment of some friends of mine that said Well, Black Lives Matter, why in Chicago 114 or 100 some odd people got killed, black people killing black people. Why is it okay for black people to kill black people? That tells me you don't understand. That tells me you don't understand. Brothers and sisters, if you're from another race and you comment on something like that, that's telling me you don't understand. Ignorant ass black people killing black people is the stupidest thing in the world. Ignorant ass white people killing white people, ignorant ass whatever culture killing each other is the stupidest in the world. But if you're from another nationality, another culture, I don't expect you to be like me, but I'm not going to comment unless it's positive about another culture and what they got going on. So if you're from another nationality and you're commenting on why black can kill blacks, let me say that. Let black people say that. They ignorant as hell. Killing each other is stupid as hell. They don't even realize it, but let them be stupid and ignorant as hell. But when you make that comment, why is it okay for blacks to kill blacks, but cops can't? You don't understand. And that's what I'm talking about. I'm not mad at you. I'm just saying that's what I mean. So I'm never going to comment to all my love, my white brothers that I love on something that's happening with white folks. Well, why white people doing that? I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that with my Latino brothers and sisters. I'm not going to comment on that. Only thing I'm going to comment on is something positive. If I can't help and be positive, I don't got shit to say. I don't want to judge anybody. But that's the part of not understanding. The 114 or however many lives was lost in Chicago. Chicago was one of the worst places you can never visit or be around. I'm not condoning and saying they're right or wrong. They're ignorant and stupid as hell. We all know that. But some people are so fed up, it don't matter. Listen. Learn. And lead. I want to touch on something else that's very, very important. Black lives matter because black folks are so sick of what's happening with these young black men getting killed. They're taking a stand. The protesting, the stupid ass rioting, which is stupid, they're taking a stand. They're sick of it. This man, Floyd, didn't deserve to get killed the way he got killed. And with the cops, some do hate black people. But it's more about the power. Knowing you can't do anything about it. That's sickening. But that's what this is about. Power. That badge making you feel powerful. And I got some buddies, some real close buddies that I love, my brothers that got badges. They cops. They bad son of a guns, and I love them to death, and they ain't nothing like that. They righteous. They real, and I love my role with them. So I love their life. And every time, and my brothers and my sisters, I'm looking y'all in the face. You know who I'm talking to. Every time I talk to you, I say, man, be careful. Stay safe. Because I never know. Your job is dangerous. And I worry about you every time you go to work. So those lives matter to me. It ain't just, I hate cops. I love them. I got some that I love to death. So the ones I'm talking to, you know who I'm talking to you. I love you, man. And I always pray for you. And every time I talk to you, I tell you, be careful, man. I want to touch on something. My family got a lot of races. Found out this is important for me. The girl, Vanessa G, military. We got to protect ours. They didn't protect her. A lot of young ladies, black, Latino, white, they go to the military. And the military is a form of like the cops. They protect each other to the max, and that is bullshit to the max. This Vanessa girl, Vanessa G, she didn't deserve it. She didn't deserve it. She went there trying to better her life, in my opinion. She went there trying to prove she fit in, like a lot of other races, and they failed to protect that girl. So the military is just as responsible as the ones that did it. That's sad, but that's why we got to come together. White brothers and sisters, Latino brothers and sisters, I'll always walk arm to arm with y'all. Vanessa G didn't deserve that. They didn't protect her. It was going on. We got to protect ours. We got to protect our daughters. We got to protect our mothers. We got to protect our sisters. We got to come together and do that. Vanessa G, everybody in the military that had something to do with it, that knew anything about it in a negative light, they're responsible as well. Everybody that has something to do with that situation should be held responsible for that young lady's death. I don't want no one to take it the wrong way. I'm not trying to paint the cops and the military as the enemy. But they're supposed to protect us. And instead, they're hurting us. That young lady, Vanessa G, they didn't take care of her. They didn't look out for her. I saw a post of a gentleman, put me in tears. He was in her platoon or something to the extent, and he said that he's going to give up everything dealing with the military to bring all the light and all the truth to what happened to that young lady. He said he loved the military, but not anymore. And he said he's going to be the first one to stand for her and what's right with what happened with her. I'm going to put up some videos from all races of the brutal things that are happening to all lives, Black lives in general, Latino lives, my white folks' lives. And it's going to break your heart. If you righteous and you real, it's going to break your heart no matter the color. It's about being right and righteous. When I think about what happened to Vanessa G, Breonna T, and Sandra B, those women, it was wrong. And I got daughters, and you can't always be with them. And you pray that you can protect them from prayers. You pray that you gave them enough to be able to defend themselves, just enough until somebody can help them, let alone us, dad, brother, sisters, etc. But the hardest thing in the world for me to swallow, and I just can't do it, it's hard, is those women losing their lives the way they did. When I watch and hear what happened to them, I just want to protect them. And the government and the military are the two biggest strengths that's supposed to protect us, and they don't. Again, not all. I ran through some of my situations, but I'm still never going to judge. I want to touch on something special that's been happening. I'm in the valley where I live. I live in a valley. And this is very important. The Black Lives Matter. Black folks are extremely sick of what's been happening to us for so long. In the last few days in the valley, I've saw some beautiful, beautiful things. Vanessa G, the culture, the Latino lives, they standing up. In the last day or two, when everything came out the way it has, the protesting is so strong down here, and that's deserved. We should stand up for every race when things are wrong. When I say Black Lives Matter, I say Black Lives Matter. And I also always say that all lives matter. Within the last couple of days, the protesting for Vanessa G has been so strong, has been so amazing and so beautiful. Like I said earlier, man, I walk hand in hand with my white brothers and sisters, my Latino brothers and sisters, my Asian brothers and sisters. I walk for the right cause with anybody that's right. And all the things that happen to black folks, people are videotaping it. They're making a big deal of it. We should make a big deal of all lives when things like this happen. And Vanessa G, her life should be demonstrated and blown up just like Floyd. We need all Latino brothers and sisters, anything that happens, let's make a deal of it. Let's blow it up. Let's bring it to light like we're doing with Vanessa G. My white brothers and sisters, let's bring it to light. So it's not just all Black Lives Matter, it's all lives matter. I live in the valley and I walk with my valley folks. The valley has been great to me. So when the valley hurt, I hurt. We've been protesting down here in the valley. It's been beautiful. And I'm sure there are other Latino lives that have been taken for whatever reason. We need to broadcast that and bring that to light so we can see what's really going on and not just black lives. Black lives have taken the front of it because they've taken the blunt of the brutal killings. But my major message at the end of this here is I wish we could have protected Vanessa G, Breonna T, Sandra B. We got to protect our women. It's sad that those things can happen right here right in our face. But we need to stand for all. Bring it all to light. Show it. If somebody got it, show it. All we see is black lives getting killed, innocent. But we're haunted. We are the hunted. They hunt us. Only way we can make a change is by getting together. That's the only way. Getting together. Getting in the government. Put the right people in. That's the only way. And being united together is the only way to the solution. Being divided for whatever reason, that ain't the way to go. That ain't the way. That's what the government, that's what they want. When you get together, all can't be stopped. With that being said, I pray that all my friends and family understand why I came on this YouTube page, Black Lives Matter, because I'm black. All lives matter. My white folks' lives matter. My Latino lives matter. So I pray that my real brothers and sisters don't take this the wrong way. The sadness, definitely the anger. The fed upness, the praying, the hoping. We got to get together, man, if we want to change what's happening to us. Let's stop being hunted and let's hunt the right way, the fair way. But again, we can't do it separated. Can't do it divided. Got to unite. Period. End of discussion. I'm going to put up right behind this Black Lives Matter, All Lives Matter, some videos to help understand a lot of the things that I've talked about. Some gonna be so hard to watch, but it's over and over the same things. Watch them all. Watch them all. I'm gonna put a few up without a face, just so you can hear. And I want you to think about what if that was somebody in your family. That's enough cause for us to get together and be one. I hope that I shedded some light. I hope that I got some of my brothers and sisters to see the lens through my eyes. I think the video part is the part that's going to really make you see what we up against and what we got to do. With that being said, RIP to Vanessa G, Brianna T, Sandra B. Let's take care of our daughters, man. Let's take care of our sisters. Let's take care of our mothers. Let's take care of each other. With that being said, I hope that I reach a few of my brothers and sisters from other races. Not that they didn't see the light or understand, but I want to try to help them see it from my lens. God bless.